It's a little bit like a family. My brother and I went through a pretty tense time in our lives too. But your brother's still your brother.
Oh, yeah.
She stood beside him for over 60 years, through every song, every storm, every stage. But now Gloria Gaither is saying goodbye. And it's not just the end of a marriage. It's the end of an era. Fans are heartbroken, and the gospel world will never be the same. They sang about hope, trust, and faith. But behind the harmony was a truth too painful to keep hidden. This is the untold story of love, betrayal, and the final farewell that's left millions in tears. They were the couple everyone looked up to, the image of faith, commitment, and enduring love. Bill and Gloria Gaither didn't just sing about trust and loyalty. They lived it, or so it seemed. For decades, their voices were the soundtrack of Sunday mornings, their marriage the gold standard in Christian communities. Every handshake at a concert, every lyric about hope, felt like a personal message from a couple who had weathered life's storms with grace. Bill's journey began in humble churches, guitar in hand, writing songs that comforted the weary and stirred the soul. When Gloria entered his life, her voice became the perfect harmony to his melody. Together, they created more than music. They built a movement. Their ministry reached beyond the stage, touching millions through albums, books, retreats, and televised worship gatherings. They were more than performers. They were a spiritual force. But even the strongest harmonies can hide discord. The first signs were subtle. They arrived at events in separate vehicles. They stood just a little farther apart in photographs. Interviews shifted from we to I. These were small changes, easy to dismiss, but longtime followers noticed. Something was off. Whispers began. Rumors of creative rifts swirled. Bill pushing toward a modern sound. Gloria wanting to stay rooted in tradition. Some believed it was merely professional tension. Others weren't so sure. Then everything changed. A blurry handheld video surfaced online. Shot through a window from a distance, it showed Gloria sitting in what appeared to be their living room, laughing with a younger woman. The way they interacted, warm, gentle, familiar, didn't seem like a casual friendship. The woman's arm lingered around Gloria's shoulders, and the embrace between them was too natural, too intimate to ignore. The gospel world erupted. Fans were stunned, confused, heartbroken. Was this the same Gloria who stood on stage beside Bill, singing about faithfulness? The video raised more questions than answers, but one thing was certain: the perfect image had shattered, and the truth, long hidden, was finally breaking through. The internet exploded. Some fans called for privacy. Others demanded answers. Message boards filled with theories, accusations, and heartbreak. Could the couple who wrote songs about unshakable love have been living a lie? Bill Gaither, once the face of unwavering faith, went silent. Concerts were abruptly canceled. Interviews vanished. Management issued cold, clinical statements citing health concerns and personal matters. No explanation, no clarity. It was as if the stage lights had gone out without warning. Bill's face slowly disappeared from promotional banners. Radio stations pulled their songs from rotation. Sponsors, once proudly aligned with the Gaither brand, retreated into the shadows. The empire they had so carefully built over decades was starting to crumble, piece by piece. And then came a revelation that no one, not even the most loyal fans, was prepared to hear. It had happened years ago, quietly without anyone noticing. One night, backstage at a concert, Gloria saw something that shattered her world. Bill stood in a quiet corner with another man. They weren't talking business. Their closeness was unmistakable. Then it happened. A kiss. Not a fleeting mistake, but an intimate, intentional moment. The kind of moment that leaves you breathless, confused, broken. Gloria froze. She didn't know what to say. How do you confront betrayal from someone you've shared a stage and a life with for over 60 years? So she said nothing. Not that night, not for weeks. The silence in their home grew deafening. And then finally one evening, she looked at him and spoke the words that had been burning inside her. Bill, I know. He didn't argue. He didn't explain. He didn't even try. He just sat in silence, confirming everything without saying a word. Gloria carried that secret for years, hiding her heartbreak behind smiles and songs. But when she finally spoke up, it was like a dam breaking. Rumors that had floated for years were now grounded in truth. The image of the Gaithers as gospel's golden couple collapsed. The reaction was instant and polarizing. Some fans pleaded for compassion. Others turned away, disillusioned and angry. Churches wrestled with whether to keep playing Gaither music. Radio stations hesitated, unsure whether their loyalty was to the message or to the man behind it. Faith was now tangled with scandal, and there were no easy answers. Behind the scenes, the fallout grew. Tour crews lost work, sponsors backed out. Friends in the gospel industry faced pressure to comment or distance themselves. Gloria handled calls from confused family and friends. She tried to shield her grandchildren from the headlines, but nothing could stop the wave. And still, Bill said almost nothing. When Bill Gaither finally broke his silence, it wasn't through a press conference or a heartfelt interview. It was a single cryptic sentence posted quietly online. There are things in this world that people will never fully understand. Sometimes it's best to leave certain truths between a man and his God. There was no apology, no denial, no admission, just silence wrapped in mystery. To some, it sounded like a quiet confession. To others, it felt like a deflection, an attempt to avoid accountability behind a veil of spirituality. Regardless of interpretation, it left the world grasping for answers. The fallout didn't slow. Concert dates remained canceled. Refund requests flooded in. Churches hesitated to sing the Gaither songs they had once treasured. Pastors debated from their pulpits. Podcast hosts dissected every word. Blogs overflowed with speculation, analysis, and raw emotion. Some defended Bill, claiming he deserved privacy and time to heal. Others insisted that anyone who leads millions in the name of God must also be transparent when they fall short. Then something unexpected happened. Bill released a new single, Under His Name Alone. It was quiet, sorrowful, and deeply personal. The lyrics spoke of falling, of rebuilding from ashes, of learning to breathe again after everything crumbles. For some, it was a powerful return. For others, it reopened wounds. The same week, Gloria shared a photo from a small recording studio. She too was working on new music, this time without Bill. Her message was simple. She was healing, finding her own voice, and moving forward. The Gaithers, once inseparable, had now become two separate paths, two legacies reshaped by truth. Now the question lingered. Can we separate the music from the person? Can songs of faith still hold meaning when the voices behind them have broken trust? There were no easy answers, only the shared truth that nothing would ever be quite the same again. What remains is a legacy stained, but not erased, a marriage ended, but not forgotten, and a body of music that still echoes through church halls and car radios, even if now it carries the weight of what was lost. Bill and Gloria once stood as a symbol of unity, harmony, and unwavering faith. But behind the music, they were simply human, flawed, hurting, and searching for healing like the rest of us. Maybe that's the real story, because even the most beautiful harmonies can hide broken notes. And sometimes the greatest test of faith isn't found in the songs we sing, but in the grace we're willing to give. What are your thoughts on their story? Let us know in the comments below. If this touched you, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another story that moves the heart and stirs the soul. Thanks for watching.